Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you are new. My name is Marissa, and I am so glad that you clicked on this video today. In today's video, I am showing you a couple of dinners that we had last week, and this first one is a homemade pizza. This is something I started making when I was a teenager, and my sisters loved it, and over the years, I've tried to perfect the crust. I used to, when I first started making this, I would just go to the grocery store and buy a crust mix, add the water to it, a few seasonings, and that was always the crust. Actually, I think the very first time I ever made a homemade pizza was that kind that you got in a box. It was the Chef Boyardee, and it was the kit, and you got the sauce, the crust, and those little tiny pepperonis. Do y'all remember that? Anyway, my homemade pizza has evolved quite a bit since then. And this homemade crust recipe is probably my favorite. All I do is add hot water and some active yeast together, and that has to set for about 5 minutes. So while it's setting, I'm getting the rest of my ingredients together. I need sugar, flour, salt, and extra virgin olive oil. And you want to before you start messing again, you see how it's a little frothy on top. You want to get that. So after 5 minutes, you'll get a little bit of the froth on the top of your yeast and water, and warm water, if I didn't say that. And then I'm just going to add I think it's two, let me see, one, two, yeah, 2 teaspoons of sugar. It is a fourth of a cup of olive oil, extra virgin olive oil, and I think it's one. Well, we'll count here too. One. Yep. 1 teaspoon of salt. You're gonna get that mixed up together. And then I will add 4 cups of, well, now I gotta count that. I don't know why with me saying, how come I can't remember? I think it's 4 cups of flour, the all-purpose flour. And I kind of, I don't know what this technique is called, but I will take my 1 cup measure and just kind of fluff the flour up to kind of loosen it up a little bit. And then you want to make sure you don't want any rounded cups of flour. You just kind of want to make sure you level it off. So it's 4 cups of flour, and you're going to get that mixed in really well till there's no more dry flour. You want to make sure it's all incorporated. One thing I love about homemade pizza is you can really, I mean, I guess you can do that with store bought or if you order out, but the sky's the limit on what kind of toppings you want to put on it, anything like that. And used to, it was always either cheese or pepperoni. I was very religious to just cheese and pepperoni. And then as I got older and as, our taste changed and stuff, I started adding different things to the pizza. And now, until I started trying to eat a little bit healthier, my favorite way to make a homemade pizza was to have pepperoni, bacon, breakfast sausage, green peppers, and onions. That was the perfect combination. But now my taste has changed a little bit, and what I really like on pizza is not pepperoni, bacon, and pineapple. Those are my top two. However, this pizza that I make 2 different pizzas. One of them just has pineapple, green peppers, onions, and spinach. And that was kind of how I made my pizza this night. And I do my husband's a little different. So after you get all of the ingredients incorporated together, you're just going to form your ball into, no, form your dough into a ball, and then you're going to add a little bit of olive oil and just kind of get it rubbed all over. Cover it with plastic wrap and let it set in a warm place for about an hour. I put mine in my oven. I wasn't preheating the oven or anything like that. That's just where I usually put bread dough to proof. Once that hour is up, you will see how it has doubled in size. You want to, at this point, you're not going to do a lot of kneading. You will see here in just a moment. I get a little bit of flour on the counter, a little bit over the top to help me get it out of the bowl, and I just knead it a couple of times. There's no need to go overboard on kneading. It's kind of a tongue twister. But anyway, and then you're going to leave it sitting for about 10 minutes. And so during those 10 minutes, it's a good opportunity for you to get the rest of your ingredients together. And like I said, I have pineapple, green pepper, onion, and spinach that I'm using on my pizza, but I do not add the spinach until it's through cooking. And as soon as I bring it out of the oven, I will add my spinach to the top. And just that little bit of heat from the pizza will wilt your spinach a little bit, and that's the perfect time. If you put it in before then, if you put it in while it's baking, it'll get black and not good. So I'm going to let this set. I'm going to get all of my ingredients together. I use a store-bought pizza sauce on this night, but the very next day after we made this, I can homemade pizza sauce. So I am looking forward to using that in the future. But I'm getting my cheese and my sauce. Oh, and my pans. Now listen, my pans do not look perfect. These are Pampered Chef pans that I have had forever, and they are the best pans for making homemade pizza because I like my crust to be a little crunchy. And these are the only pans, unless I'm using my iron skillet, which that works sometimes too. But these are the only pans that get the crust on the bottom brown like I like it. So I'm just going to put some parchment paper on here that makes for easy cleanup because cheese melts to the pan and then you got to scrape it off and blah blah blah. Anyway, so now I'm going to get my ingredients together. I have frozen onions and frozen green peppers. You can do fresh, no problem. I have pepperoni, I have real bacon bits, spinach and cheese, and then the pineapple. I think that's everything. So after your 10 minutes is up, you're going to separate now if you just want to do one big one, this makes a very large, one large pizza. It's very, very large pizza, but you can do two cut it in half and make two the size of probably a normal medium size pizza. Or you can cut it into fourths and, do personal pizzas, whatever you want to do. But this one recipe will make two medium pizzas for my family. So you're going to stretch it out as thin or thick as you like it. We like ours kind of in between, not too thin, but definitely not too thick. And then I'm just going to, again, the sky is the limit. You put what you want. You do you when making homemade pizza. But I'm going to add my sauce to it. You can even leave the sauce out. I have done vegetable pizzas where I just rub a little bit of olive oil on the crust and then chop up some garlic and sprinkle that over it, and then add like zucchini, Roma tomatoes, onions, green peppers. That's a really good fresh garden pizza. I haven't done that in a long time. I need to make one of those. But yeah, so just get my sauce and then I'm just going to start adding my toppings. I like to put my meat on the on top of the sauce. It's like the bottom layer, I guess, and then add some cheese, and then add vegetables, and then add more cheese. That's the way I like to layer my pizzas. Here I am using canned tidbit pineapples. Have I been saying peaches all this time? Pineapple. I like pineapple on pizza. I don't even know what I've been saying. But anyway, tidbit pineapples. You can use crushed pineapple. You can use fresh pineapple. I have canned pineapple. You can use whatever you like. And then on the top, I am sprinkling just some dried basil. You can use oregano or an Italian seasoning blend, but this is what I had on hand. So I added a little bit of that on the top and a little, just a very teeny tiny bit of garlic salt because that can go a long way and it will taste too salty if you put too much. So just a little bit of that. The cheeses that I use are a mozzarella, and then there was an Italian blend. I had a little bit left over in that bag. I used the rest of it, and then some shredded Parmesan. And again, I'm using the store bought. You can use fresh. Then I'm going to put these in the oven. My temperature is at 425. I'm putting them on the bottom rack. Here I am adding my spinach to my pizza. And when I say my pizza and my husband's pizza, we did not eat all of our pizza. There was plenty of leftovers for lunch the next day. You can see here how the heat from the pizza is starting to wilt the spinach. And I also, you don't have to, but I took the stems off of the spinach. I don't know, it's just it was just my preference for the night that night. I don't always do that. And then the only thing left to do was cut it up and serve it. A lot of the times I will fix something like tater tots or french fries or something like that to go with this, but tonight it was just the pizza and it was really good. We enjoyed it and we enjoyed the leftovers as well. And now we're on to a different night. And honestly, I think I've got these in different orders. I think this was like Tuesday night and the pizza we had on a Friday night, but it doesn't matter. On this evening, we're going to do our take of a Philly cheesesteak. And so I'm getting some extra virgin olive oil and some butter in my iron skillet. I'm going to heat that up. And then on my sheet pan, I'm laying some parchment paper and then I'm just dumping a few tater tots on there. I'm going to get those in the oven, and I don't put any seasoning on them. We just season them ourselves when we're ready to eat. And then I'm just going to pop that into the oven. And while the tater tots are baking, I'm going to work on my Philly cheesesteak. So I'm going to coat the pan with the oil and the butter. And then I have a bag of frozen mixed peppers and onions. You can chop up fresh. This is what I have on hand. And it's very convenient and easy. So I put about half the bag in there. This is just for me and my husband. So I'm not making too much. But I'm just going to cook these down, salt and pepper, and then cook it down so they are soft and tender. And while that is cooking, I am cutting up some fresh from the garden, not my garden, unfortunately, because my garden has been destroyed almost by groundhogs. I don't know if you've heard me say that in other videos, but these we got at the farmer's market a couple days earlier. So I'm just chopping up some. We love fresh garden cucumbers in the summertime, and we will eat them literally for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So I'm just cutting these up and having some before dinner, during dinner, and then after dinner. We love these cucumbers. So now that my peppers and onions have softened a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and add my shredded beef. I got this from, well, you can get it from two different locations, and I actually did. I got a pack from Walmart and a pack from Aldi because I've been having trouble getting it, and so I went ahead when I did my grocery order the week before and ordered one from each, hoping to get at least one, and I was very fortunate and got two. So this is the shredded beef. I am adding salt, pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, and then some minced garlic. And I'm just going to get the meat chopped up as finely as I can. Here in a minute, you'll see I have to use forks because that skillet, I mean, that spatula wasn't getting it chopped up very well. So I'm just going to shred it up to our liking. We like it shredded pretty thin. You want to cook it until, it's definitely cooked all the way through, and it does not take long to do that. But if you want to put a little bit of char on it, let it flatten it out in the pan and just let it crisp up on the, well, just crisp up, I guess. And but that's, you do you. And then I'm going to melt some provolone cheese on top of it. I'm going to turn the heat off. I'm not going to take the skillet off the eye. I'm just going to turn the heat off, add the butter to it. Butter, oh my goodness. The cheese. I'm adding provolone cheese to the top of it and let the cheese melt. You can use cheddar cheese, you can use pepper jack cheese, you can use a combination of all the cheeses. Again, you just make it the way you like it. You do what you like. I actually, and I'm not doing this on this evening, but one of my favorite ways to eat a Philly cheesesteak sandwich is with cheddar cheese and then a little bit of like pizza sauce or marinara sauce. That is very good. And the first time I had a like a technical, a real Philly cheesesteak was years ago when we took a trip up north. My husband my husband has family up in Pennsylvania, so we went up there and we visited. And I think almost every day we were eating some kind of a Philly cheesesteak. We were checking out different places to see where we liked it the best. And one of the places that we went to had the marinara sauce that they put on it. And actually, I don't know if that's like an original thing. It seems like I've seen a story on this before. But anyway, I really like it with some marinara sauce. So that's something you can try as well. Well, that's going to do it for this video. A couple of dinners we had last week, and they were both very good. Um, if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Hit that thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe and then hit the bell notification so that you will know when I upload a video. And then give me a comment and let's talk. Let's chit chat in the comments. All of that really does help my channel, and I appreciate it so much. I hope that you guys have a great rest of your day. I hope that if you try these recipes, let me know what you think. Super easy. Y'all just have a good one. I'll see you next time. Bye.